And we are back. So, last we left off, the Fellowship had a interesting encounter in the Chateau de Bonneau. You met a Grill Knight, and you found out the mysterious happenings of the long-distant past, Bragadine, and of course, a few new developments that are taking place in the castle that may or may not be worrisome. However, you are about to set off on your pursuit of Emma and the foul creatures that besieged your castle and desecrated your lands nearby. After saddling Seamus, the Grell Knight, Tristan Devry, had placed his hand upon Seamus's leg in a very awkward, Brokeback Mountain kind of way, and secured 2 of his exhaustion points from him in some kind of miracle of the lady. And then retrieved his horse and began to sally forth. However, you have men-at-arms on foot, so I'm assuming you guys are going to be going at a normal pace to where they can still keep up. You just don't have to walk, is essentially what is happening, if you don't want to leave them behind.
Did Marius get on his horse yet?
Marius, are you going to get on the horse, or are you going to walk with the peasants?
I'll get up close to the horse, like pet it.
Yes.
Seamus will probably chuckle and just like, Marius can't even reach the stirrups.
I'll grab one of the peasants holding one of the horses and see if you can fetch us a draft horse, a larger one. Marius, you can ride with me. I will teach you how to ride.
And one of the
wrap your arms around him.
And
I will take
one of the men-at-arms, of course, my lord, and quickly sets off towards the stable, taking away Marius's horse, and your horse as well, kind of leading them away. And they bring back one of the larger, much, much larger horses, and brings it cantering up. The saddle is pretty big. It could probably accommodate 2 snugly.
That's right.
All right. I mean, I'm hopping on if I can, I guess.
Yes. I'm assuming.
Sit right back there.
Yeah. Oh, he's behind you?
He doesn't know how to ride the horse, man. He's going to have to hold on to me.
Yeah, oh, okay. You don't want him with handling the reins?
I probably would. I don't know who would handle the reins. I don't know.
Who's handling whose reins in this situation? With or without their pants on?
I will sit behind you. I will make sure I get all greased up to fit back here. And I will tell you what to do.
Oh, very good. I'll hop on.
Yes, indeed.
Ready for my lesson.
Yeah, ready for that lesson. Assless chaps. I'm just going to say it once.
Oh, yes. Agreed. No
so you get up on the horse. Bragadine slides in behind you. What a perfect time to learn how to ride, as you are.
Yeah.
Oh God! Make me a ride check.
Just gets on and falls right off.
Make your ride check. As you hear. Yes.
Do I get an assistant?
I will give you. You
get Seamus heckling you.
I'll give you plus 10 for Bragadine riding with you.
Okay. I'll need it. Oh yeah, it's failure. That is.
Damn it. The night is leaving us.
That's a 65 out of 36.
Yep. Yes, it is. I'm assuming you don't want to re-roll that?
Don't do it.
Hey, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. It's my first re-roll. I haven't had a roll, so okay.
Oh, man.
Why not? Ooh, yeah, that's a 5 out of 36.
Oh, shit!
go.
So
There we
you
go.
ha, and you actually the horse actually responds and kind of begins to canter up closer. It's by no means
Marius, you're a
a
natural.
fast horse, but he's obviously picking on pretty well. Bragadine.
Jameis, this is so easy. I mean, I thought you were talented, but I assume that anyone can do this.
It's far better. It's far better than walking, Marius.
And with that roll, I will say that you won't need to make a check for a little while, at least. But Bragadine, these are your lands, and the knight is somewhat leading the party, but there is another. There is a peasant, not a man at arms, an actual peasant that you would recognize as I believe you only know him as Pierre. You have no idea if he has a last name. He probably doesn't. He's a filthy peasant with a kind of a hunch on one shoulder, and he has a quiver across his back and a longbow slung as well. And he is one of the very few peasants that your father used to allow to hunt the land. And of course, it was his honor to hunt the food for your father's table and be allowed to keep the hooves and some of the less desirable pieces to bring back to his
That's
family.
quite generous, actually.
It was extremely generous.
Very generous of my father. Pierre.
Lord Benoit, I was told to track foul creatures.
Yes, the spawn that killed our great lord and has kidnapped my sister. I am so glad to see you here.
Yes, indeed. And he begins looking at the ground. So this way. And he begins leading you in the direction that you saw them leaving. The rest of Marius and Bragadine would be the only ones who saw them leaving. So you at least think he's leading you in the proper direction. And he stops every mile or so to look at the ground again and reassess. And at first it's easy to see there's massive amounts of footprints, and a lot of the nearby foliage is just trampled underfoot. And then that starts to pass away as you begin passing the remains of people that were once at the tournament that look long dead and may have been zombified and have fallen to the wayside, returning once dead to their undeath. And then you're left with just several sets of hoof prints is what he ends up tracking. And it begins to get more and more difficult, and this unnatural storm is still, or the darkened sky is still hovering above. After 5 to 6 hours of this, you eventually come to a point where you might have to begin to rest for the night. And at this point, Seamus, you do recover the last of your exhaustion as the 5 hours is up.
Oh yeah.
And the powder has done its work. So
Good.
you are once again fully erect, no pun intended, in more ways than one, and feeling much better. And you come to
that.
Yeah. Speaking of that.
Marius, right up next to Sir Tristan. I want to speak to him for a moment.
You canter up, Marius, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me another ride check, Marius. You still get your plus 10.
Oh yeah.
Kicks. Oh shit. That's 35 out of 36.
Oh,
Razor's
you
edge.
bloody bastard. Okay. So you still barely manage to canter the horse up. It's a little... It nudges away from you for a second, but you keep it steady. And the large horse begins... yeah, and Marius is just making these weird noises, Bragadine. You're not sure what he's doing up there, but whatever he's doing is working as he canters up next to
you. I'll make a tight of you in no time.
Me and this animal, we've got a connection.
Exactly. You have a connection right now. You canter up next to Tristan's horse, and the Grell Knight looks up at you, which is unusual for him. But he looks up. You see his golden eyes. Yes, Beno.
Hey, what's going on? No, go ahead. Sorry.
Jesus.
Marius, give me a moment. Let me speak to him for a moment, please. Your enthusiasm is, you're like a child with a new toy. Oh, I love it. Blessed night. I fear that we are growing weary. The men-at-arms and your pilgrims, they are growing weary. We must find a place to camp for the night.
The rabble don't concern me, but the warriors perhaps. And when he says rabble, he looks back at the peasants that follow him everywhere he goes. Seems to be no love lost between them and him. Perhaps the rest of you are growing weary. And he looks unfazed. He does not look tired in the least bit. In fact, you noticed, Bragadine, that he had a small cut above his left eyebrow that you saw in the castle, and it's not there anymore. It's gone, as if the flesh may have knitted itself together. And there's still, and as it's getting darker, there's a strange glow about his person, almost unnatural, almost as if he's projecting a very dim, almost candle light from his very presence. And it's unnerving, but it's also somewhat comforting to a man of the in the faith of the lady, to see her her will so personified.
I feel like Bragadine would actually feel really good. Like this is like the actual, like a representative of the Lady of the Lake, his god. So it's probably a little like bro crush.
I would say so. This would be a monumental event for any noble, even, to just be present, be close to someone that's so tied to your faith. And very well. I feel that the peasant there is losing track. Perhaps we pick this up when there's more daylight, as he kind of glances up at the darkening sky. And you can see that Pierre's having a hard time following the tracks at this point. And he trots back to you, Bragadine, and Marius, since you're leading the horse. Lord Beno, I seem to have lost some of the tracks. If you'd give me but a moment. And he looks tired as well.
These tracks, will they survive the night? If we rest and the daylight again, you think you can pick up the trail?
I believe so, my lord. It's quite evident where they're going, though. And
speak up. What?
Yes. He's going. I think they're going to the barrows. The Black Barrows.
Did he not mention something at the tourney? What did he say? He said he was Mehalfri's Knight of the. What did he say? Seamus, do you remember what he said? He said something about the Black Barrows or something like that.
I don't remember too much from that.
Seamus wasn't conscious.
Yes, you were. Yes, that's right. You were not having a good. It was not a good fight for you.
I still don't know why
I remember him saying
the governor is in this tournament.
This is not the governor. I don't know what you're talking about. Pierre, you have done well. Just as you served my father, you continue to serve me.
And
Excellent.
I will say,
Would you tell the peasants?
Bragadine, the Black Barrows, you've heard the peasants whisper of it, almost like a boogeyman's tale. You've never seen it, and as far as you're concerned, you're not even sure if it exists, but the peasants believe it lies beyond your lands in the mountains. Just so you know, for reference.
Thank you. Perfect. Cool. Pierre, I thought that was a wives' tale. Sparrows.
Well, my cousin's uncle said that he'd been once before, and that there were foul creatures.
I rolled my eyes, looking at Seamus and Marius with that statement.
Wondering. Yes, it's sorry, my lord.
I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, you have no idea what he's saying because he's speaking in Bretonnian. And then he just kind of tilts his head and begins to walk away. It is at this point that how about I have Marius, Seamus, and Bragadine all give me perception tests.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 32.
Okay, and
I just got 20 out of 57.
okay, good. And Bragadine?
37 out of 61.
Okay, so all of you easily, especially on your elevated height on top of these on horseback, you glance over and you're still in kind of the almost at the foot of the mountains, and you haven't seen a lot of civilization since you've left Chateau Benoît. There's not a much up here, and honestly, Bragadine, you're approaching the edge of your family's lands in this direction. You're getting close to the edge. And you know, Bragadine, that there should be some kind of small garrisoned force, a small fort of some kind that your father keeps
like a
troops
holdfast
in.
or something.
Yeah, like just a small checkpoint almost, to give a heads up if any, let's just say, I don't know, foul creatures came spilling out of the mountaintops to invade your countryside. And they are there to serve as both a small bulwark and a cautionary advance. And the three of you glance over and you see the top of some kind of structure above one of the nearby kind of rolling hills. And all three of you see just faint little wisps of smoke, probably from a fire of some kind.
Wait, we should have there should be an outpost, a guard post out here. What is that over there? Do you see smoke? Like a chimney?
And the Grail Knight for sure looks over. That's your outpost.
It doesn't look good, Bragadine.
No, it does not. Marius, pick up the pace. Let's get closer to it and take a closer look.
Yeah!
Oh,
Oh,
Go ahead and give me another ride check. Yeah.
Why do you hate
Something to
me?
do.
Yeah.
Every time you you're gonna get a ride check.
Ooh, this is a barely fail. It's 38 out of 36.
You want to make it a success with your fortune point?
No, I don't.
You don't. So I'll say this: Bragadine's behind you. And the horse rears up, and you, and then Bragadine steadies you barely, but you look like a small fool for just a moment as you fumble with the reins. And the horse quiets down. Unfortunately for you, the Grail Knight has no emotion on his face he is yet to crack a smile or anything. And he just stoically canters the horse past you in that direction. Seamus, I'm assuming you're doing the same?
Yeah, probably, chuckling at Marius's blunder, but
Exactly.
I'm also staying as far away as I can from this weird, creepy guy.
Yes, exactly. And the rest of the people walking, at the prospect of perhaps somewhere to stay, you can see that their spirits have elevated a little bit, and they begin following. In a few minutes, just about 10-15 minutes, you get around a bend, and then you get full view of the small fort that has been set up here out in the mountains. It's not crudely built, but it's not expertly crafted either. It is just a decent looking small fort. It has almost like a wooden gate built around it that has gaps in it. Probably not big enough for a person to squeeze through, but needless to say, it's not exactly the most secure fortress you've ever seen. There is, however, a drawbridge, as there is a natural moat that has been excavated somewhat, almost like the Chateau de Bonneau. Very similar, since it's kind of built up into this kind of mountainous region. And the moat is down currently. It's down, and the gates are open. And the structure it's a fairly tall tower, actually. It's mostly just a center tower. And it looks to be at least 50, 60 feet tall. Pretty tall tower. With at the top of the parapet, there is a flag flying the colors of the Bonneau family. And you can tell from here that the small whiffs of smoke were in fact coming from a chimney that kind of goes off to the side from the kitchen. And it appears that the kitchen is in use.
I don't know why there are not guards out there. There, Sir Tristan, let us go inside.
Of course. And you canter over the wooden drawbridge into the courtyard of this small fort. And as you come across, you notice that you don't see anybody standing outside. There are no horses in the stables nearby either. There's a well where it looks like they draw water from. And there's a half-filled bucket just resting on the sill of the well. And the door to the fortress is nearby, and it appears to be closed from where you're standing. It's at this point that Sir Tristan looks back at you, Bragadin. If we must stay here, I must consult the lady. I must beseech her for guidance.
Of course,
and he approaches the well. What are the rest of you doing?
I actually would assume that the party, the peasants men in arms, would already be making camp right outside the walls. If not, I'm gonna. Has Pierre followed us in or anything like that?
So everyone else is inside within the gates at this point.
Okay.
Do you want them to set up camp out here, or are you going to have them come inside?
Marius is going to be looking around for any kind of signs of conflict or battle or anything like that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation. An intuition is what this is in this game, not investigation.
Oh, okay. Intuition.
Yeah.
That's a 5 out of 40.
Okay, you begin looking around, Marius, and it's a little odd. There's no horses. You know how the Bretonnians love their horses so much. I believe Sir Seamus referred to them as horse fuckers at some point. But there's no horses present. There appears to be no sign of battle. It's kind of, nothing out of the ordinary, other than the fact that the drawbridge is down and there's no one guarding it is a little strange. But that's it.
Okay. I'd probably say
I will tell the peasant.
Bragadine and Seamus, where are the horses?
That's a good question, Marius. Perhaps they're out on a patrol or something, but I don't know why the gate would be open. Let me down. I want to investigate. I'm going to go inside.
I'll probably hop off the horse as well.
Okay.
Try to tie it up somewhere.
Seamus?
Since I can't speak to anybody except those two, I'd probably keeping an eye on that weird guy, but then just follow Marius.
Okay. And that weird guy, the Grail Knight, is, at this point, he's made it to the well as you guys are approaching the door, and you would see him lift the pail full of water down onto the ground, and then he gets down on his knees, clasps his hands, and just looks into the water in the bucket and begins to mutter under his breath. And Bragadin, you would recognize these as prayers to the lady.
Let us keep our voices quiet. I do not want to disturb him, my friends. He is communing with the lady herself. We are not. Let us go inside.
Is he talking to the water?
No, do not. He is praying to the lady.
To a bucket of water.
No, you do not. You. Let us move on. Let me tell Pierre to. Yes, it's a bucket of water. Just please let us move on.
And
Maris will look like what the hell is happening?
Exactly.
Marius just shrugs like, I don't know. But
It tracks.
Marius is just he's untrusting right now. He doesn't like his place. Spooky.
Of course.
All right. So all the wretches and men of arms that were with us, are they still outside the gate?
No, they're all within the
far?
courtyard. They're all within the
Okay.
courtyard at this point.
All right. I'm just going to assume this is our castle or our holdfast. Or
It's
whatever.
your fort.
Yeah. Set up camp. Get ready for the evening. Prepare our tents. Well, I will see if we have rooms here, but get everything ready, Pierre. You are in charge for right now. And I will.
I'm in charge. And one of the man-at-arms walks over. I'm in charge. And he glances over at you. With your respects, Lord Bonneau. And you would recognize him as the most senior member of the man-at-arms present. My lord, I cannot allow you to enter there without us first making sure there's no foul play.
Of course. You have. Please.
And he calls over 3 of the others. So 2 of them are staying outside with the horses, and him and 3 other of the men-at-arms come up and move to open the door, unless someone else wants to open the door. Marius, Seamus.
No.
I mean, I don't know what is happening if they're speaking, if he's just walking
It's
over
true.
there, yeah.
They are just doing it.
Yeah.
All right. They, one of them very timidly pushes the door, and it opens. It is unlocked, and you see flickering candlelight spill out into the darkening sky. And they lower their halberds that they all have and begin to slowly walk inside. Are the three of you following?
Yes.
Okay. Upon entering this small, let's just call it a fort, a small fort. Bragdon, you would remember that there was a small garrison for this fort as well. You probably would have heard your father saying that he really only keeps it barely staffed just to discourage bandits and foul things from coming down from the mountains.
But not abandoned.
But not abandoned.
It's not abandoned. I mean, there's lights on.
There's lights inside.
And smoke.
Okay. And as you enter, as soon as you step foot, you see the man-at-arms freeze. And you hear a rustling noise coming from deeper inside the darkness. What do the three of you do?
Does anybody have a torch?
There's light
Can
within.
Marius see anything?
There's flickering light within.
Okay.
Marius can see it a little bit better. You don't see from the angle. You don't see into the door, but you do hear this rustling noise, and you see the men freeze and begin to lower their halberds.
Like they've seen something? Are they still moving? Or when you
They
say
stop.
freeze,
They freeze in
are they
place.
Petrified?
Yeah, they freeze in place.
Okay. Okay, they freeze in place like unnaturally.
Not unnaturally, like readying themselves because they just heard a spooky noise.
Okay.
Oh, who goes there? I'm Bragdon Benoit. This is my tower.
All right, Bragadine, go ahead
Where
and
are
give
the
me a
guards?
cool
Speak up.
test real quick.
Cool test. We're gonna lead with that. Only got a 17. I'll pass. Let me see how I passed it. 17 out of 52. So
Okay.
3 levels of success.
Very good. Bragadine, as you're saying, you barely get to finish your sentence as some small creature comes shooting out from between the door of the men-at-arms, and they all kind of, and it charges towards you, Bragadine, and you hear it yip, and it's some kind of feral dog. And you almost shit your pants, but you manage to hold it together as it runs in between your legs and then just out into the courtyard and across the drawbridge.
Oh, did you see that, friends? Oh my gosh. Oh, we are all scared by a dog. Some wretched beast. Here, let's just go find where the inhabitants are. I want to know what is going on there.
Marius, for thematic reasons, you're going to be the last one to enter. The men-at-arms push in, then Bragadine, then Seamus, and Marius, with your previous intuition roll. As you're about to pass through the threshold, you look down, and you see there are paw prints across the courtyard, and they are red with blood.
Are they large paw prints?
No, just the paw prints of the dog that ran by.
Marty, Seamus, something's wrong. The dog, there's blood on the floor.
And
Bragadine, what blood?
Bragadine, you hear one of your men-at-arms call from inside. My lord! My lord, come! Come quick!
I moved post-haste over there.
Okay. I'm assuming Seamus and Marius are following?
Most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You enter into the fort, and upon entering, it's similarly set up to the chateau. It's almost like a smaller version of the chateau. And you're immediately in almost like what would be a grand hall, though not by the chateau standards, of course. And there are rows of tables for soldiers to sit at and dine, these men-at-arms that are garrisoned here. and you see a total of 12 men in various positions laid across the table, some of them on the floor, some of them hanging off of the benches by the tables. There are dishes and it looks like large bowls of some kind of soup or something that are set about the table, and a lot of them are spilled over. And you see that in the flickering light of these candles that are still lit and burning, that all of these men are not moving. And there's little bits of blood spilling out of the sides of some of their mouths as they're laying on the ground or face first in their food.
Sigma. Does there appear to be any kind of cause of death?
Go ahead and give me another intuition test. Or, you know what? You have skills, medical skills. I'll leave it up to you. Intuition, or you can give me a heal check to determine cause.
Okay.
Did just Marius notice that, or did we all notice that?
You all would notice this. It's pretty apparent as you're looking around.
I rolled a 20 out of 37 from a medical.
For healing ability?
Yeah.
Okay. So you approach the nearest body, and it's a man that is sitting at the table. His face is laying on the table, and his bowl of some kind of stew or gruel or something is smattered about the table as if he knocked it over. You see blood trickling out of the side of his mouth. It looks somewhat fresh, like he hasn't been dead long, but he's most certainly dead. And judging by the discoloration around his mouth and his throat, this man's been poisoned.
It's like he was poisoned. Stay away from the food.
Poisoned. And
Water might
where's
not
the
be
rest
safe
of the
either.
garrison? Oh. You. And I point to one of the men-at-arms.
Yes,
Run
my
out
lord.
and tell the rest. Do not drink the water. Beware of the food.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. And he begins hurriedly moving out. As after he leaves the hall and you guys are kind of looking around, you hear there's a large staircase in this hall as well, similar to your home, Brigadine, that leads up, except for this is a long staircase that moves up to the only other floor. So several stories up, and leads to what would be the equivalent of, you don't know what yet, because you haven't been up there, but you do hear a noise coming from up above. Brigadine, you have the most acute hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You would hear a frail voice calling, "Help! Help me!" Just barely hear it. And it's coming from up above.
Wait, I hear someone. He's... Quick, this way. And I shout to the two remaining men-at-arms and to Mary's. This way, up here. And
Are you leading, Brigadine?
Yes, I am leading.
Okay, Brigadine, you're leading up the stairs, and several flights of stairs. Mary, Seamus, you're following?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say the men-at-arms are in the rear. As you quickly move up the stairs, you move a total of 50 feet up, and you come to a hallway. There are three doors. There's one on the left, one on the right, and then one straight ahead. The one straight ahead is slightly ajar.
Do I hear any voices now?
You don't hear anything right now.
I call out. Who's there? Where are you? As I move towards the open door, though. And
Okay.
I point. I'll point at the other door. Like, I'll point at one of the men-at-arms, and I'll point at one door, and I'll point at the other men-at-arms, and point at the other door.
Okay. And are you moving quickly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not running, but I'm definitely, like, walking fast.
Yeah.
Moving quickly.
You're, help me. A little bit louder this time. And at this point, the rest of you can hear it as well. Seamus and Marius. And it is most certainly coming from the door that's ajar.
It's Bretonian.
Yeah, probably.
It is definitely in Bretonian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Someone's
I'm
coming
assuming
for
we're heading towards upstairs.
All right. So you begin closing down the hallway, and as you motion to the other men-at-arms to check the doors, you hit the open door. You push it inside, and this is a bedroom, Bragadine.
Mm-hmm.
You walk inside, and it's very plainly decorated. These are men-at-arms, after all, but this apparently is the captain's quarters. The other men must stay in bunks somewhere else. And Seamus and Marius, you spill in behind Bragadine, looking around. There's a small dresser, and there's also a desk next to the very plain bed. And there's a man silhouetted by candlelight, kind of leaning over the desk.
You. Who are you? Where are the troops?
And then you just hear in a louder
slowly
tone.
Walk towards them.
Yeah, as you're slowly walking, you hear once again, "Help me!" This time it's much louder, and the three of you hear it's emanating from the man slumped over the desk.
Is there any like other spots in this room?
You
a
glance
closet or
around the room, Seamus. You begin to glance around, and go ahead and make me a perception test.
That is a 50 out of 51.
Okay. With just a success, this is very dimly lit. The only candle in this room is the one that is obscuring the figure. You do, however, notice that in the flickering light, that the man is definitely wearing the garb of a man-at-arms. And judging from the fancy helmet, he's probably the captain. But other than that, you don't see anything else out of sorts in the room. Bragadine, as you're slowly approaching, suddenly you get a whiff, and you smell blood.
I kind of halt. Look at Marius.
Bragadine, this might be some type of trap.
Maybe you're right, Seamus.
And then you hear
I would imagine.
a bubbling, throaty, "Help me!"
And so he's silhouetted though. We could see the shape, but that's
You can see the shape, but it's a flickering light. He's facing away from you, and he's hunched over this desk. In a chair, I should say.
I'm gonna have one of my pistols in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm kind of go to the side of him and without touching him, see if I can get a better look. Maybe kind of angle around.
Okay. You slowly approach him, and you put your hand out, and you grasp his shoulder, and as soon as you touch him, the chair kind of falls away, and the man falls backwards with it, and there is a massive dagger sticking out of his chest directly in the center. And as it falls back, the man falls prone across the floor, spills out onto the floor. His eyes and his mouth have been sewn shut, and he is definitely dead.
What is madness?
As soon as you say that, you hear screams from behind you, the man-at-arms. As they begin screaming bloody murder from behind you in the hallway.
Marius is grabbing his pick and trying to run to save him if he can.
Bragadine draws his sword.
You draw your sword with your one good hand. You awkwardly draw it, Bragadine. Seamus?
Yeah, I've got one in the hand. If I can pull the other one, I don't know. I assume Marius was the last one into the room.
Yes. So what are you wielding, Seamus?
Oh, I'm dual wielding these pistols.
Dual wielding
right
the
now.
pistols. Okay. You draw a second pistol, and Marius, you spin around on your heel and begin going out into the hallway where you heard the screams, and the doorways on each side that you passed through, that you sent the men-at-arms to check, are wide open, and there's nothing but dark blackness inside.
And I can't see in there.
And I need you to roll me initiative, all of you.
Oh, shit.
That's a trap. Ooh, that's a shitty initiative roll. I got a 7.
Yes! How about Bragadine?
I got a 9.
And Michel Wolf?
13.
Oh, okay. Wolf, Bragadine, and then Seamus. Pulling in the rear. So Marius, you're technically first up, but here's what happens. Out of those dark rooms, suddenly one of the man-at-arms, the one on your right, comes spilling out, and he's clutching at his throat as vicious amounts of blood are spilling forth between his fingers. And he is pale as he slouches into the hallway. And he's reaching out towards you. And out spills 4 more men from that room, shambling. No sounds, but blue, flickering light in their eyes as they begin to fall upon this man and begin to rip him limb from limb, eating him as he is still alive.
I'm gonna
It is
try
your
to
turn,
Try to hit him
Marius.
with my pick.
Okay, you run in and you go to hit one. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
That's a 10 out of 70.
Okay, so you easily run in and hit the one nearest to you, just and it's lunged down, and it has a mouthful of this man's neck as he's twitching, as he's beginning to succumb to the blood loss, and you just cleave straight through the undead flesh, almost like it was butter, and one of their heads just disintegrates, and the corpse falls neatly onto the ground. Would you like to do anything else, Marius?
Just getting ready to hit the next one.
Okay. You stand there ready. Marius, the remaining zombies that used to be men-at-arms that you can tell, judging from their garb, begin to stand from eating on the one. And then you glance to your left, out of the door to your left, Marius, and 4 more of these men-at-arms, these zombified men, become spilling out into the hallway, and you are quickly surrounded. And several of them begin trudging down the hallway towards Seamus McCready. But before we get to that, Marius, you are going to have to defend yourself. And this is a very desperate role, as they're close enough as they're encroaching around you that one of them is going to grab a hold of you and attempt to bring you down. So I need you to make me an opposed strength test.
Okay. That's a 30 out of 70.
Okay. You easily pull away and push one of the zombies, and it falls backwards. Trips over the dead body, the 2 dead bodies that are now laying in the hallway. I'm going to need you to make me now 3 defensive rolls.
Okay.
So let's go with the first one.
First one's a 14 out of 80.
Okay. And the next?
Should I add momentum to that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. That's a 40 out of 90. It's a crit.
Okay. So you nimbly smack away the hands of one, and then a second comes down with a large axe, and as it does, you lash out with your pick, cleaving the creature in 2 as it slumps backwards, dead. Go ahead and give me one more defensive roll.
31 out of 100.
Okay, and then you batter aside a third, but you are being surrounded. There are still 5 more on you, Marius. And 2 more are lumbering down the hallway towards Seamus that have squeezed past you. Seamus, I need you to make me some dodge rolls, because you can't block with your hands full of pistols.
All right. First one is that's pretty good. That's a 10 out of 37.
Okay, yeah, you easily duck beneath some outspread arms. And then your next roll, please. With momentum.
Ooh, next roll's a 13 out of 47.
Okay, once again, you nimbly take a few paces back and are out of harm's reach. Bragadine, it is almost your turn. As you're facing away, Bragadine, you are unprepared, except you just get that nagging feeling, that dastardly sixth sense that I wish I could make cease to exist. And I will allow you a dodge roll, Bragadine.
Well, I didn't get it.
How bad was it?
2
This is
levels
important.
of failure. Rolled a 56 out of 33.
Okay. The hair stands on the end of your neck, Bragadine, and you move to dodge what you feel an incoming threat. And you do trip over your feet, but you manage to stumble away as the once dead man that was in the chair has risen from the ground and was lunging for the back of your throat. Would have caught anyone else by surprise, but not you, damn it. And you are out of harm's reach, and you get a point of momentum.
Oh, yes.
And it is now your turn, Bragadine.
All right. Well, I'm going to attack that guy.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
I rolled 33. 33. Let me see here. I'm so excited I can't even do the math.
Is it success?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
33 under 57 under 60. That's a crit with 3 levels of success.
Okay. Don't forget, you're at minus 20 for your roll. So is it still a success?
And it's still a success.
Okay.
It's 3 levels. Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a d100.
All right. 34.
Okay. And how much damage was that total from you? If it was a 33?
So that was 2. So 2. So it'd still be 1 plus 6 plus 10. 10 points.
So 10 total? Okay. All right. Okay. Roll
Yeah.
me one more d100.
100.
You did not.
I did.
Okay. So, Bragadine, as you stumble away, you firmly grasp the handle of your sword, and the zombified remains of the captain of these men-at-arms lunges at you one more time. Yeah, and as you do, you duck underneath and swing your sword into his guts. And you've put on some strength since you've come to the Empire. And though your arm is in a sling, your right arm's in a sling, you manage to somehow muster the fight or flight of your natural instincts and pull the sword all the way through this man, and it cleaves him in two. And the remains fall still and empty as he falls beside you dead. Again. Is that going to be the end of your turn, Bracken?
I'm going to spin around or spin towards where I can hear all the commotion and start to move towards the next opponent.
All right. Seamus is currently engaged with 2 foul creatures. So you won't be able to get past them. They are clogging the doorway. But you can get into melee if you want.
I do. I want to assist Seamus if I can.
Okay, so you run up to assist Seamus. That brings us to Mr. McCready. It is your turn.
Alright, so I got 2 engaged with me.
Yes.
So I'm going to try to shoot them.
Okay, go ahead. You do get to defend since you're in melee.
Ooh, the first roll is a 14.
How many levels?
Let's see. 5 levels.
Okay. All right. And what's the total damage on that? I'm sure it's going to be significant.
Yeah, I believe it's 14.
14. Okay. You level your pistol, the one in your right hand, your good hand, and aim it towards the zombie on your right, and you boom, and you take it, and it's a loud, cacophonous boom, almost at point blank range, which you do get an additional plus 20 because it's at point blank range, literally. So you explode through the the right kind of shoulder area of the creature, and it flings backwards into the nearby doorway, and you see the blue kind of flickering flame in its eyes, dull and still, and it is dead.
I would like to... Can I do wield now for the second?
Sure. Yeah. You want to use your new talent to...
My new talent.
Okay.
So that will make it a 41. The momentum and the minus 20 penalty will cancel each other out,
Yes.
I believe. So
Yes.
then
Well,
it should
and
be
since it's at point blank, you get a plus 20, so
Yeah.
it cancels out already. So
yeah,
yes.
so yeah, it'll be a 41 out of 86.
Okay. Yeah. Let me make sure. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think it was even capable of meeting that challenge. So this time you level it almost simultaneously. You shoot the first one, and then you put the barrel of the pistol almost into the chest cavity of the second, and boom, and it just erupts and explodes. And a similar explosion, except for on the opposite arm of the other zombie, happens as the rotten flesh tears away, and the corpse flings backwards into the hallway and stills. And they are both, as far as you know, dead once again.
Do I gain another momentum for that, or just the one?
Just one. You can just get one per turn.
All right. I believe that should end my turn then.
Okay. All right. With that, we are at the top of the round, except Marius Wolf. You start to smell something, Marius, and you hear screaming from down below. Fire! You hear screaming from down below. Fire! Fire! And you can start seeing a glow from down below, Marius. But feel free to take your turn, as there are 5 zombies clustered around you.
Yeah. Don't know if I can really get through the zombies right now, so I'm gonna at least hack one more down. Try
Okay,
to
go ahead and
at
give
least.
me another attack roll.
All right. That's a 53 out of 110.
Yes. You once again just slam the pick down and just utterly pulverize the torso of one of these men-at-arms. You hit him so hard that he flies backwards and begins tumbling down the staircase, down into the glow that is transpiring below. And he is firmly dead.
Oh, gee. All right. How's the hallway looking? Still pretty clogged?
You still have 4, so you have at least 2 or 3 in front of you, and there's 1 behind you. They have circled around.
Okay. Yeah. Oof. If I back up some, am I able to back up, or am I just completely surrounded? Not able to back up?
With just 1 behind you, you could probably slip free if you want to burn your momentum, all of it. It's up to you.
I'll hold here for now.
Hold strong. All right, that brings us to the zombies' turns. All right, Marius, there's 4 zombies. Think you know what's about to happen. I will say this, Marius, now that you're in a full surround, they have advantages to strike at you. So go ahead and roll, please.
All right. How many times? I guess.
So just roll. It's going to be 4 times total, but just roll 1 for now.
Okay. First one is 23 out of 120.
Okay, Marius. Let's see here. All right, Marius. The first one on your left, as you are completely surrounded, you bat away one of them, and this one comes with a critical success. Comes clamping down on your left arm, its jaws closing about painfully. Would you like to shed some of your armor?
I would.
Okay, you shed 1 point of armor, and you only take a measly 10 wounds.
10 wounds.
And
Okay.
you can subtract the armor plus your toughness bonus. Then you can minus 1 piece of armor as it cleaves away some of the chainmail, nicks the skin, and you lose.
That was on my arm, right?
Yeah, your left arm.
Okay.
So you lose some armor, and you lose 1 point of momentum.
Okay.
All right, defend yourself again, sir.
That's a 77 out of 120.
Okay.
Or 110.
This time, however, angrily,
Wow.
you lash out and just splatter the head of the next one coming nearby as you hit it so hard its like corpse flies into the open doorway where it came from. And the next one more.
Uh, 60 out of 130. Or, no, 120.
God damn it. 60?
60,
Again?
Bro. Again, bro.
Okay, well.
They're just zombies, bro.
It's just zombies. It's true. How would you like to kill this last zombie? There's still one more technically alive that bit the hunk out of you.
Yeah.
But how do you want to kill this zombie?
I don't know, just like impale it into the wall, you know, like its head into the wall, like
Yes.
smash it against the wall.
Yeah, you smash it so hard with the pick, the undead flesh and head just smacks into the wood to such a degree that it splinters and crack. And the head stays, but the rest of the body slumps away as the flesh peels off, and there's just a head sticking out of the wall now, and a corpse at the bottom. And I'm assuming that is the end of their turn, since there's no one else left to attack you. And that will bring us to Bragadine Beno.
All right, so I'm still up there with Seamus, or what's it look like?
Yes,
directly in
you were
front
with
of us?
Seamus. He just exploded the two zombies that you were rushing to help him with easily. And you just witnessed Marius Wolf just tear through some zombies,
Oh, yeah.
like a whirlwind of death ahead of you. There's still one standing that looks like it took a chunk out of his arm.
All right, I'll run up and attack that.
Okay, you run up. Go ahead and make
I
me...
heard people yell fire, and I can smell smoke too.
Yes, all of you can at this point.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna attack that guy. We got 43 out of. Let me see. 57. What's my penalty?
Minus 20.
Negative 20 still.
Yep, because it's
Okay,
your offhand.
So I got a 43 out of 57 if you include my momentum.
Okay. How much damage is that?
That's just going to be, let me see, 1, 6, 10.
All right, 10 wounds as you cleave down, and it looks like you hit it in the, ironically, you hit it in the right arm. As you swing with your left, it's just awkward. And you nick the flesh, and you peel quite a bit of it away. But it doesn't appear that it feels any pain. It just kind of, and then lunges backwards, still very much standing.
I guess I don't want to. I want to put it down before I rush past it because I want to make sure Marius and James can get out too. So I guess I'll basically just kind of hold my ground in front of it, ready to either take it out next turn or run.
All right, and this hallway is getting rather clogged as we go to Seamus McCready's turn.
Yeah. One zombie is standing.
One zombie still standing.
Okay. I need to write this down, but was I able to stow the two and then draw the other two with my free action, or
You
is that
can.
an action?
Okay. I will allow you to do that. Basically, it would take your free action last turn to stow, then your free action this turn to draw, it's fine.
All right. I will then turn and aim at the last standing zombie
Okay.
and try to blow his head off.
I will say there is one Bragadine Beno in the way because he decided to stand there. So it's going to be a more difficult shot. You could accidentally shoot him in the back, though, if we're taking a dark deal.
That's fine. He's a lot shorter than me, so I can maneuver that. Yeah, I'm taking the shot.
All right, take the shot. Take the shot.
That
don't
is
crit
going
fail.
to be a 9 out of
Oh.
86.
All right. I was going to give you a minus 20 to this shot, so 66. But still,
66?
it's more than enough damage
He might go
with
deaf.
the pistol. He's a few feet in front of you. It's not like you're not like over the shoulder, but he still is standing in the way. But yeah, you managed to pick out a moment where he swings in and he dips down low, and you boom right over the top, hit it square in the neck, almost in the torso, and it and the head just comes popping off, and the corpse flings backwards and begins to roll down the stairs next to the one that Marius delivered down the stairway. And
Alright,
is that going to be the end of your turn, Seamus?
I will use, if the hallway is clear, I'll just use the rest of my movement to, I guess, move downstairs to see what's happening down there.
Okay, you move up to where Marius and Bragadine are, and they're right there, almost at the lip of the staircase, close by. You press through them, and you definitely smell smoke. You glance down, and while the tower was not very well lit before, it is extremely well lit now, as you see the whole bottom floor is on fire, and the staircase leading up is burning and falling away. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Rise of the Freaks.
Oh man!
So yes. Yes!
Oh, I hate fire.
It's going to be great. It's going to be
gonna get-
great, guys. You're only 50 feet up in a burning tower. It's fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, I don't remember if you said there was any windows or not.
I did not say
I
there
don't
were any
remember him
windows.
saying
Isn't that
windows either,
interesting
yeah.
how that happened? We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes.
Built into a mountain.
You're gonna have to find some way out. So yes,
Marius.
man, this was episode 50, which makes this chapter 100 for the channel, guys. Awesome. We've been doing this a long time. We really have, and man, I would like to say I'm so happy and proud to get to play with you guys. It's awesome. And 50 episodes. That's we're doing good. So before we get too sappy and someone gives you a Dutch rudder or something, let's go into our normal little favorite moments from the cast and crew. Let's start with old Marius Wolf.
Oh, hello?
Hello, we're there. You back?
Hello, we're back, I think.
We're
yeah,
back.
I think it cut
Yay.
out. It just for a moment.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the flare.
I was saying though, favorite moments from the cast and crew, Mr. Marius Wolf.
Ooh, gosh, I don't know. Discovering that Governor Freeze's name was Randy.
It is not Randy, damn it.
Really?
You know his name. You have it written down.
Missing.
Randy Freeze.
It is not Randy Freeze.
No, I guess. Oh gosh, I don't know. I liked the introduction of the Grail Knight. Exciting stuff. Also liked riding my horse.
Of course you do. Of course you do. How about old Doobie? Favorite moments?
I liked my waking up, hearing all the news from Marius, and finding out that Governor Freeze was a vampire.
Governor, damn it! God damn it! He's not.
Randy
His name's
Freeze?
not Randy. His
I
name's
know,
not Randy.
shocking.
You know his name, damn it.
Shocking.
Oh God. How about Mr. Galactic? How about favorite moments from old Pierce Galactic?
That's a hard one. It was talk about a braggadine special. I like that we got new loot. I'm excited about that, having some armor. But I think my favorite part was the interaction between Braggadine and Gerard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both when he insults him in front of everybody, and then just in the office, like because also I'm curious as to what was in that empty spot. So.
I know. There's a lot of mysteries to unfold. I will say there was a lot of reveals this episode for sure. A lot of reveals actually. But if I had to have a favorite moment, it had to be luring you into the obviously trapped tower. all the way to the top, I might add.
Oh no, we were
The
going
heroes,
for that. I was totally
the heroes
going for
can't
that.
just say.
I know.
Say,
I mean, yeah.
I know.
What was it supposed to do?
I know. I love it though. I will say you guys are RPing good. I need to award you guys something. You know what I'll do? If you have any resilience that you haven't, that you need restored, you guys can all add 1 resilience point back for that.
Oh wow! Thanks, man. I need resilience.
Yeah.
How do I know if I need one?
Yeah. Well, how much resolve do you have?
2.
So you need 1. So you can add 1 back so that you're back at 3 because all of you had 3 originally. So you're at 2 now, Braggadine.
Perfect. Jumbo, this was a really good set of sessions. I felt like it was just like we just kept going. I felt like an urgency, like we just got done with a battle, and I could picture it in my head, just the corpses and the burning. Oh man, it was exciting. And then we just good combat, and then with Sir Tristan, and just this is fucking good shit tonight. Good shit. Yeah.
It is a Bretonia special, so of course.
Seamus liked to get a fate point back or some corruption back.
We'll see. I did offer you, Dark Deal.
I
could have shot Braggadine in the back, but you didn't. You didn't. So
I would have killed him, and then I would have taken more corruption.
Maybe. No. No. But we'll work on it. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. But per usual, we do have a viewer decision. And this time, I would like to know from all of the fans out there, how many assailants are at the bottom of this tower? That's all I want to know. How many people / creatures are at the bottom of this tower currently? Go ahead and vote down in the comments section. Let me know what your decisions are. You could be nice. You could not be nice. Either way, it's going to work out in my favor. It's going to be great.
They're never nice.
Yes, I am excited about...
I'm hoping they'll all be on fire.
I would assume probably some of the zombies probably are on fire and walking around, seeing as how it doesn't do anything to them. So, yeah. But yeah, awesome. Man, I'm excited for the next session for sure. So we will close that out though for the night. Happy 50th / chapter 100th episode. We appreciate all the fans out there. Do make sure to vote in the viewer decision. Gives you a good opportunity to help influence the campaign. As well, we do read all your comments. So any positive comments, any negative comments you want to lay down there, we do like to read them and respond in kind. So as usual, guys, I've been Jumbo Thick. This has been Rise of the Forsaken, and we are looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a good day.